Welcome back to Charting with Dill, and as always, I'm your host, Dylan McKercher. So like I said last time, with the low totals and the lack of new blockbusters hitting the market, Charting with Dill will become a bi-weekly show. So let's catch up on these last 2 weekends of box office action here domestically. Up first will be the Halloween weekend, where a new horror film, Come Play, scared away $3.1 million to take the top spot, and it opened in a little over 2,100 theaters. Liam Neeson's Honest Thief drops out the top spot for the first time in its 3 weeks of release, earning $1.3 million, and the comedy film starring Robert De Niro, The War of Grandpa, laughs up $1.2 million in its fourth weekend here domestically for third. And fourth is Christopher Nolan's Tenet, which has made about $885K through its 9 weeks. Rounding out the Halloween weekend top 5 is another horror flick, being The Empty Man, which dropped 56% in its second weekend, totaling nearly $600K. While Halloween weekend saw less than stellar numbers, the results from this previous weekend were a lot better. This last weekend saw a 21% increase in sales for the total box office, as well as giving us a brand new film to open on top. In fact, this is the first time a new film has opened on top in back-to-back weekends since Tenet first hit the domestic markets on Labor Day, after the New Mutants had opened the weekend before. Let 'Em Go, starring Kevin Costner and Diane Lane, snags $4 million and 2,450 theaters. Come Play falls to second, falling 43%, scaring up $1.7 million. And in shocking news, The War of Grandpa gains 19% based on the previous week to stay in third, and it grossed $1.5 million, edging out Honest Thief in fourth, which had grossed for $1.1 million. And running out the top 5, also gaining in sales, is Tenet in its 10th weekend of release. The espionage flick saw a gross of just over $900K. Expanding worldwide to see not much movement in the last 2 weeks, other than My People, My Homeland gain on Bad Boys for Life for a second spot. The Chinese film has made $414 million from the Chinese market alone. Similar, our king of the 2020 worldwide charts, The 800, has made all $468 million so far just from the Chinese market. Compared to the second place movie, Bad Boys for Life, having made $424 million pre-shutdown. Tenet gains a little bit more as it has crossed the $350 million mark worldwide, and once again Sonic the Hedgehog rounds out the top 5 worldwide. Close out the show, we return to 2020's top 10 films domestically, which as usual in these COVID times does not have much movement whatsoever, besides Tenet closing within $6 million of the pack of 3 films consisting of The Invisible Man $64.9 million, The Call of the Wild with $62.3, and Onward $61.5 million in 7th. Well, Tenet is still just about $6 million shy from cracking into that bunch, but with recent news of Tenet announcing its home release to be on December 15th, it may not hit there. However, Disney pulling Death on the Nile and Free Guy may as well lock up this 10 films to be our final top 10 films of 2020 here domestically, since the New Mutants died out roughly $3 million shy of cracking into the top 10, and The War of Grandpa is still $13 million off from overtaking Fantasy Island for the 10th spot with its current gross of $26.4 million. However, come back in 2 weeks to see what Warner Brothers does with Wonder Woman 1984, which is still slated for a Christmas Day release, as well as what Universal decides to do with the animated family film The Croods 2 and its hybrid November 25th release date, where it will be in theaters for an abbreviated schedule of about 2 to 3 weeks before hitting home video. But until next time, this is Dill signing off.